Hello, everybody. Time to get back on track. How y'all doing? Welcome to another day, another stream. Weekly reset happened, so we are rank 5. I'm not really sure how far we're pushing, but I figured that with a short stream today and a sick daughter in the living room, I could squeeze in a couple of hours, still sort of keep an eye on her, so that's why I'm here. Hope you all are doing good. Let's see what we can do with the time we have available. Anywho, let's see. Like I said, I'm not really sure. Not really sure how far I'm going. No idea. For now, just gonna squeeze out a little bit here, a little bit there. There's no grand scheme of things when it comes to the PvP grand. I think it's sort of more of a, no, I wouldn't say convenience, just unresolved in terms of the extent. For a lot of reasons. I think one is that I'm kind of undecided if I wanna swap main character come TPC anyway, so I figure it's it's less of a thing. Doesn't matter quite as much all of a sudden, but it's something to do. It's actually not anything I've ever pursued before either, so from that perspective, why not give it a shot, get some entertainment out of it, something new, something different. Anywho, I spent all day yesterday at a work-related conference, so I'm feeling a little haggard today. I mean, I think it was like 9 hours, basically back to back, different keynote speakers talking about different subjects, and it just so much information to take in. It's tough, really, so much information to compile and try to utilize. Is just, I was completely bummed out when I came home last night. A lot of super good topics, no question about it, but still. Oh well, at least the action's going even from the get-go in terms of, fairly quickly BG's popping even this early. Another day, another grind. You are rank 5, 40%, weekly reset, 6 days, 136k. At least that's doable in the next week if I really want to. Let's see. Come on. One down. Sometimes the amount of action just to get forward is so significant, and other times it feels like there's the Alliance and the Horde do everything that they can to just go their separate ways. It's funny how the same game layout can really shift so much from one to the other in the sense of what's happening. See if we can get a few more here. Anywho. Hey man, yep, it's that time again. Reset came around, so I figured I needed to get a feel for what the numbers looked like this week, how far I was along, see what I'm up to. I'm not really sure how far I'm gonna push it. Rank 5 now, but I'm not pushing for. I'm realistically not pushing for rank 11 anyways. So it's more just a case of chipping away, I think, a little here, a little there. I haven't really decided how far I want to take it, but I think it's more a case of it's compared to previous playthroughs, it's actually been more entertaining now than it has ever been before. Might also be because there's a lot more traffic, there's a lot more action in the sense of consistent games, not having to sit for a long time in queue. So trying to utilize the momentum right now while it's there to sort of say, okay, let's see what we realistically feel like. Yeah. How about yourself? How's it going? Why can I consistently get aggro? Do I actually lived through that? I did not expect that. Yeah. Quite a few people north this time around. Got yourself to Engineering 200, so I'm thinking of practicing the solo tribute runs. Yeah, that's cool. I really was in a pickle trying to decide whether to go for engineering or leatherworking for my hunter as well, for the same reason, because there was a big consideration in regards to whether or not to go for the possibility of doing like the tribute runs. So I can follow you. Are you then going by chance? Are you optimizing? Are you going Are you going enchanting as well, just for the full optimal? Spend around 50 gold to go from. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's the combination of, you gotta spend money to earn money, so it can be like an investment in the sense of saying, okay, it will pay out in the grand scheme of things if I look at the big picture. But there's always the consideration, for shelling out money to begin with, and uncertainty as to whether or not when it will sort of pay itself back. Plus, I get the sense that there is a bit of time spent to get to this point where where the tribute runs become comfortable, but practice makes perfect. I guess that's part of an often occurrence, in the sense that it does take some time to get that feeling for how to execute properly. So what are you doing for your secondary profession? Imagine. There's always somebody who's frustrated. No, 1 second. Sorry about that. Scanning 300, deciding whether or not I should replace it. Yeah, I can follow. It was just my daughter woke up. She was sleeping in the living room, and she got woken up by the automatic robot. Vacuum cleaner started. First world problems. I can follow your train of thought in sense of whether or not you should. I mean, I think at some point, if you get to the stage where you can, consistently do the runs, then something like enchanting can maybe make you more money in the long run as a combination with the engineering. But at the same time, right now, if it can go either way in terms of when and how you're gonna manage, then maybe it's easier to keep skinning, because at least you can, consistently make some money by that profession for the foreseeable future. So you're not completely dependent on getting the wow. Let's see if we can't get out of here by now. Go. I'm not sure Scammer is a good name for a character. Kind of leaves you with a bad impression to begin with, doesn't it? I ended up killing off myself just for the hell of it. That would be tragic. See if I can get enough out of reach to do a quick bandage. Come on. I do need to actually, I forgot that. I do need to go and get the last bandages trained. Keep forgetting, you know, how often do you end up in around the Highlands nowadays? Once you're at 60, not really that often. That was another shit show of a wow. Good call. Barada. I've concluded that taking things as they come, you know, not really stressing about it, not really having a specific goal in mind that I have to work towards, it makes it easier, right? Oh, nice. Yeah, I see you. You know, it's just easier to just sort of say, go with the flow, see what happens, you know, get out of it whatever you do. Don't stress, don't fret, don't, you know, you're less prone at least to find yourself in a situation where something ends up infuriating you if you just sort of say, oh well. There's a Danish saying actually, it's basically a single word that is sort of a summarization of oh well, which I think we're quite good at trying to utilize from an early age, just because there are so many things, you know, throughout life where the notion of being able to say, oh well, really sort of is a good way to solve it. Sort of like the mentality of, you know, there's no use crying over spilt milk. Ugh. I'm still feeling a bit haggard after yesterday. Full day work conference. Everything's going a little bit slow this morning. How goes with your AV grind, Temujin? Rank 6? Okay, that's cool. Are you pushing for max? You have those ambitions, or? preferably don't want to, but seeing as some bits pieces come from, yeah, I can follow you. I mean, it's a tricky balance, right? I feel that I think it's I find it to be easier to have the mindset of if I get it, I get it, instead of I need to get it because you're setting yourself up more specifically to something that becomes a chore. And that's one of the things that has the most probability of like discouraging you or something, right? Because all of a sudden there's like a something you have to work towards that might be either too time consuming or too overwhelming, but sort of just scaling it down a little bit and saying, maybe slowly but surely I'll work my way there. At least gives a bit more leeway. Then if you end up, let's say, ahead of the curve, you can always be positively surprised. It might also just be because I'm not sure that when it comes down to BIS necessarily that it matters enough to me in that sense. It's not a reference point that's important enough. It might also be the case that I'm simply delusional and I'm just trying to convince myself it's not important enough because then I don't have to worry about it. Could also be. Either way, I figured, if I'm content, then we're good. I think also, if you look at the breakpoints for what my recommendation right now is, yes, rank 7, 40%, 110k. That's that's fair. That's doable without let's say without a full week investment. Similarly, rank 9, 175k. That's also manageable. I think of course, more time invested, but doable. And then rank 11, 400. I don't. I know realistically I would never have the time for that. I would never be able to manage to squeeze that out. You can say especially not with a full-time job. Some days right now I've been fortunate that work has been quiet and that we're still sort of in a startup phase. But if it wasn't so quiet, I wouldn't be able to manage it all. Even now, when it is quiet, I'm not sure I would be able to manage it all. Rep I'm up to, 2k honored. I'm again, it's I think it's one of those things that's just coming along slowly but surely. I'm not really I'm I will open up the tab and look every once in a while, but I am not doing anything else to pursue it in any means. It's just keeping up on status. Why the hell did somebody run all the way in there? Bad fear. Okay, I pulled it off. Ah. You can always get your ass handed to you, that's for sure. When you get the loving attention of all of the marshals. Anyways, see, I was just about to go check how things were looking for tomorrow. Okay, we've got 13 people signed, 2 tanks, 5 hunters, 0 healers just yet. We're not quite there yet, it seems, in terms of honest to God progression for molten core per se. I mean, I figure we can probably do trash run if need be, but yeah, exactly. No lack of pets. Yeah. Some days I'm considering if I should, put a lot more attention into leveling my alt character. I'm not even paying enough attention. Completely sleeping on the job. Trying to multitask, trying to alt tab out, look at Discord at the same time. Yeah. Oh well. I guess we just have to keep trying for now, You can say a lot of people slowly but surely turn 60, but maybe not all of them are able to raid at the same time. Think a little level priest. Compliment, completely opposite of hunter. Yeah, I can follow that, Could be a fun learning experience as well. I think the fact that you end up with characters who can cover 2 completely different roles is always super good. I always try to do the same, because it gives so much more flexibility, going forward in terms of, a group composition. So just the fact that you have something else you can potentially swap over to, if you're not really, some people are very set in stone about only having the one character, but if you're not, if you're more like, it's less important for me which character I play on as long as I can, participate with the guild, then it just gives so much flexibility. I think when we're talking WoW right now, it's still early days in the sense of number of characters, unless you're one of the hardcores, but at some point on, it's gonna be it's gonna be nice having more opportunities. So from that perspective, I think it's super good. So that's why I'm also saying I'm wondering if I should focus it more, do more to level the shaman now. But yeah. No big surprise here. Another horrible game.
Nope.
Oh well. Little by little, slowly but surely, 1 grind at a time. not sure we can stipulate that we're going places, but you know. Don't know if it's good or bad knowing that one person can alter the entire game's outcome just like that. Yeah. Yeah, true. There is, I think, I think that it's, on the one hand, is it nice to know that your actions have an impact? At the same time, you know, is it also a problem knowing that your actions can sometimes have such a big impact? I don't know. Come on. Come on, come on. Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew. Is it just me, or does that very last second feel like it's a very long second? 3, 2, 1. Wait, wait. Horde logo. Gates open. Think they're messing with your time sense. Gather all. No. I have to remind myself not to judge other people. I'm horrible at it sometimes. Don't judge other people. Just because some people have more challenge spelling than others. Lieutenant is actually also a really tough word, so not even sure I could get it right myself. Don't judge. Even though English isn't my first language, I have, on the other hand, been speaking it for, so many years. And still sometimes I catch myself in a situation where there's one word where the spelling just escapes me. You simply cannot place how it's supposed to look. It amazes me still that you can find yourself in that situation. Standard recipe, go in. Not sure what I'm doing. Why am I continuously tabbing past the boss? We're off to a rough start today. There's not enough coffee right now in the world to complement what I need, I think. Feels like everything's just a little bit sluggish. And I didn't even sleep poorly, so. Oh yeah, by the way, I actually forgot. Isn't it? Didn't the Race to World First retail start yesterday? Wasn't that a thing that they were starting that now? I haven't checked how it's going. Yo. Okay. Morning, Melmon. Yeah, okay. How you doing, man? Okay, so EU. I'm just checking it. It seems that they are. What they're doing. Okay, into splits. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So they're starting to gather up more gear. Makes sense. I ended up actually putting a reminder in my calendar for yesterday. Just, remember that it starts. I usually keep track of it because it's entertaining to see the hardcores going at it, but then having been away all day at the conference, I just sort of forgot it completely. Liquid just did full day normal, few heroics. Okay, yeah. So they're still prepping. Same was the case last time around. That they spent first two full days doing splits and things just to stack up as much as they can, and then they start doing the whole vault calculation and figuring out who needs what, and then it's gonna potentially be. Yeah, exactly. Several days before they actually start going into the mythics. On the one hand, it's a shame. It's a shame it's come to that, isn't it? I mean, I understand that they're executing the meta perfectly, but it's just so boring to look at, isn't it? I mean, you would wanna see them go in the second it opens and just fucking start pounding out on the well, what's the word looking for? On the mythics, of course. Wouldn't you? That was what I would most prefer to see. And so I understand that they do execute the meta perfectly, but it's just a shame. Too bad. But, you can, I wonder, when you look at it, the grand scheme of things, you see that they have all these, at the end of the day, it for the past several occasions, it's been Liquid and Echo battling it out, and it comes down to those little things. They talked about it a couple of seasons ago as well, right? If Echo should consider doing the whole US launch instead, because then they don't, fall behind on paper in terms of when reset is and all that. But yeah, you can say it would have been just as easy for Blizzard to consider doing an in-game timer to say, did you count the number of hours since the boss was released originally until the first kill, but then you have to calculate the number of hours before the second kill if it's on the EU, just so you can track whether or not one beat the other. But there's also like a psychological effect to the fact that you would never want to identify that somebody got the first kill, and then actually there's a clause saying they maybe didn't get it because you don't know for the next 8 hours if EU beats them. On the other hand, they've talked about it before, like global launch, and they still haven't done it, so I guess it's also not a thing that they're looking at. Why do I still have macro? Oh god. Yeah. It's a whip. My mind is so not in this right now. Not fully immersed, at least. Completely derailed. Sluggish. Feel sluggish. Yeah. Loot RNG, yeah. Yeah. Loot RNG is a big thing, that's for sure. But, trying to view it from their perspective, it must also be tough setting yourself up for what potentially might be, let's say, 2 weeks of raiding to get the world first, knowing that maybe as much as the first week that you're in it is actually just preparation. You've been preparing off camera, off screen for, who knows how long, on so many different levels, and then you log on and you spend another week preparing in game, right? Yeah. I think I just have to conclude that I'm happy it's not me. For so many reasons. I'm sure it wouldn't be very much appreciated if I came home and said, family, I'm gonna be gone for the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna have a lot of fun, maybe. Sitting around playing games. Sitting around playing WoW for 2 weeks straight, getting no sleep. But, still playing WoW. But you're going to have to sort yourselves and figure out how to make ends meet at home. Help your mom make those lunch boxes, and I'll be back at some point. And if we lose, I've gained little to nothing. It's a bit more challenging, I guess, than going I have to go away on business for a night or two. See if we're any closer? I don't think so. Two. I was just about to say, let's see how things are progressing, but I think this was an indicator. Okay, before the next one, I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee. I feel that I need it, so give me 1 second. I will be right back, and then we can continue on with the next one, for better or worse. Okay, we are back. Sorry for that. Let us see if we can resume. Here we go again. Let's hope this helps. Bit more coffee pumping through those veins. How's it looking? You've got 14,000. 19,000 for rank 6. That's a size of no. That's a fairly easily accomplished amount, I figure. Rank 8. Your optimal path, at least amount of time, rank 7. So 95,000 honor within the next week should also be doable without too much effort, basically. The grind continues. Okay. $30. Okay. $10. Go, go, go. Okay. Come on, come on. The the most notable thing, actually, I would say, is that compared to a dungeon, the amount of arrows you spend on average battleground is very low. So I've spent 2, 4, 450, 450 arrows running, 5 ABs so far. Not a good track record, right? But still. I've gained roughly the same honor, so it's not that it really matters, does it? But yeah, could be worse. Oh well. It's, I don't know if you ever have that. I really feel off today, mentally. I really don't feel in a good place in terms of just like, there's not a full oh, there's not a full spin. Things aren't going quite as normal. like mentally feeling a bit off. Brain isn't spinning as much. Yeah, exactly. Total off day. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The only. Yeah, it was a long day yesterday. I mean, so many having to go to having to head off early to go into the city. Well, I do have to do that for work anyway, but spending an hour roughly sitting in traffic, then spending something like 8 hours at a conference just listening to people talking, trying to absorb all the information, figure out if any of it is something that you can utilize in your workspace later. Then driving all the way home only took 30 minutes because no traffic. And then I ended up having a work call after that I promised to sit in on, sort of listening in. So that was a thing as well. And at the same time as I was doing the last work call, my wife had gone to the gym with the youngest daughter because I was coming home late anyway. So I was trying to be on the call, make dinner at the same time. It worked out. Then I had a catch up on a personal call afterwards. So by the time I felt I actually could park my ass on the couch, it was, I don't know, it's at 8 p.m. So having been sort of going at it for something like 14 hours since I got up without any real break was just tiring. That's not something that happens often, so when it does, it's just overwhelming. I think it's maybe the most accurate term. You get through it, no question about it, but man, a lot of information to digest. There was some really, really interesting topics covered yesterday, though. So I did initially have some considerations about maybe bailing on the conference, because I couldn't really, let's say, leading up to yesterday, I was like, oh, am I really up for this today? But I figured, no, I signed up for it. It was actually free of charge, so nothing there, but still. And then thankfully it's one of those situations where you go, okay, I'm glad I did it, pleasant surprise, positive outcome. Caught up with some old colleagues and met some new people. So yeah, it was a good payoff, and worth the sensation of being a little bit off today still. But yeah. And I figure, it's nothing that a little bit more coffee can't fix. Going places, we're going places. Trying to type and run and play at the same time is not going well. I'll have to click something so I can finish typing without breaking it. Typing. Typing and playing. Confirmed, still not working. I guess it matters less when you're a horrible player anyway, so, you know. Not necessarily sure my impact is always that measurable, but, oh well. To log off soon as well. I do have a couple of work calls coming up shortly. This was just I figured, you know, I did have a bit of time today, might as well, just because right now I need to work towards clocking streaming on 7 different days as part of the whole affiliate program benchmark, so every little bit counts. So yeah, getting that grind on as well. Just as I figured I could get far enough away to get out of combat, I run closer to something else, got in combat again. Oh well. I think I'm actually going to end up heading off. I can feel that my mindset's not really in it fully anyway, so I figure I might as well jump off for now and then prepare for a couple of work calls, you know. But thanks for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to see you. Maybe I'll talk with you in game in between a couple of my work meetings, and then I'll be. I plan to be back on. I'll be back on tomorrow night for the raid. Because you know, makes sense to do that regardless of what we end up doing. I'll be on for that at least. So I'll catch you later. And I'm just gonna jump off here in a second. Take care, man. I will talk to you in game.